AI Jesus in a confessional booth is drawing some controversy. Miller High Life Beer releases a dive bar scented cologne, and some new Illinois laws are raising eyebrows, including one that replaces the term offender with justice impacted individuals. These are the weird stories on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast hosted by a very confused man inside a closet. Let's do it. An AI Jesus inside a church confessional booth is drawing some controversy. There's a church in Switzerland that's experimenting with technology. They're trying out an artificial intelligence to create a digital version of Jesus, our guy Jesus. You know the one. He's got a six-pack. He can forgive you of your sins, so that way you can get up into that heaven in the sky, which I'm not sure what it is, but I think there's a lot of hot tubs up there, along with cheesecake. All right, so this is leading to a debate on if the move brought people closer to God or if it was just it was blasphemous. People are calling it blasphemous because it's a digital version of Jesus as opposed to just the fantasy version of Jesus in all of our heads. That seems to be better. St. Peter's Chapel in Lucerne, Switzerland began the 2-month experiment called Deus in Machina, or Deus in Machina. I'm probably not pronouncing this right. This is where visitors speak with the digital avatar powered by AI inside of a confessional booth. Okay, so instead of talking to a priest in the confessional booth, you get the AI Jesus. Well, at least the AI Jesus ain't going to touch you. Sorry. I had to go there. Come on, guys. Come on. Hey, they made their bed. They're going to lie in it. Okay, so it turns out this Jesus avatar is projected on a computer screen, and Jesus offers advice to churchgoers based on scripture in more than 100 languages. Oh, that's good. So that means he speaks Aramaic, which is what I speak when I go to confession. And I expect my AI Jesus to also respond to me in Aramaic and make me a glass of wine on the spot. That would be pretty dope. Here's a quote from somebody, a theologian named Marco. Marco says, many people came to talk with him, Jesus. There were young people, older people. People really talked with him in a very serious way, the Jesus, AI Jesus. Well, yeah, I mean, who's not going to come and talk to AI Jesus? I mean, I would. Why not? Who cares who's behind that screen at the end of the day in the confessional booth? You know, they're all following a formula, right? That you tell them your sins, and then they tell you how many prayers to say. Have you ever been a confessional before, guys? Anyone raised Catholic like me? I would go in there. Yeah, I just tell the priest how many times I touch myself, and then the priest tells me how many Our Father prayers and Hail Mary prayers to say. So, but, you're like, touch yourself. Yeah, that's all I did. I mean, I was like 12, 13 years old. That's all I was doing. What do you think? I committed some of the other sins, like I stole or coveted my neighbor's wife or used the Lord's name in vain, or I wasn't worshiping false gods. I was 13. I was touching myself every moment I got. And so consequently, I said to say a lot of prayers when I was touching myself. One time my mom walked in on me and she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, don't worry. I know all the prayers to say. So just let me go here. Okay, let's learn a little bit about AI Jesus. Confessing all my sins to the computer inside. Before visitors step into the confessional booth to speak with AI Jesus, the experience is outlined with instructions outside, including a disclaimer to not divulge any personal information. Oh, confession has changed since I was a child. It says here, topics like relationships, love, topics like about God. They ask him what to do. Who wrote this? This makes no sense. You're not allowed to ask about God. Why wouldn't you ask AI Jesus about God? If anyone's going to have the answer, it's AI Jesus. It's not going to be Father Mulroney. Father Mulcahy doesn't know really what's going on. The researchers and religious leaders involved in the project released findings from the 2-month experiment inside the 300-year-old church in November. About 900 conversations from visitors were transcribed, and some came more than once. Nearly 300 of these visitors filled out questionnaires after exiting the booth, which informed the results released last month. All right, are they going to share our information, though, if we spoke to the AI Jesus? I want to know that. The project leaders found that the experiment was largely a success. Visitors who came out of the booth were moved or deep in thought and found it very easy to use. I mean, that's the whole purpose of it anyways. Just get it off your chest. So it doesn't matter if it's a person or an AI speaking to you. There's a reason why these people have virtual boyfriends. You know, my friend has a virtual boyfriend. I saw the app. She's having meaningful conversations with this AI boyfriend. The AI boyfriend is there for her 24/7. It supports her, you know, even through her bad decisions. The AI is there to support her. And, you know, it has pretty good advice. I read some of it. I'm like, this makes sense to me. It's probably better than you're going to get from your average boyfriend, human boyfriend. All right, I'm going to skip to the part in the article where it says, why is the AI Jesus stirring controversy? Yeah, now we're getting to the juicy part. We have a bishop named James who's not happy with it, doesn't like AI Jesus, says AI Jesus is, quote, not sacramental. Says that AI Jesus is, quote, truly just sacrilege. Okay, well, you're repeating yourself now, Bishop. Not sacramental also means sacrilege. You could have just said sacrilege and saved us the time. So he's not pleased about it. He's you know, his job is a threat, right? So he has to talk crap about AI Jesus. Now, another person called the experiment blasphemous and the work of the devil. Okay, all right, well, slow it down, okay. Whenever I see someone saying the work of the devil, it just makes me think that they're crazy every single time. It even could be the work of the devil, but I'm going to still think you're insane for saying it. Okay, this person says, if you read comments on the internet about it, some are very negative, which is scary. Not really. There's negative comments about everything. Go find the most wholesome thing. You'll find negative comments about it on the internet. Who is this? This is someone who's 100 years old, obviously. I saw the comments on the internet. Wow, some of them are bad. That means this must be bad. Okay, this other person says the AI Jesus was never meant to replace a priest and instead was implemented to get people thinking about the intersection of the digital and the divine. Yeah, it's just an experiment. It's not meant to replace the priest, so they say. Maybe eventually it will replace the priest. Who knows? But probably there'll always be, you know, human priests. There'll be human mediators between us and God, even though at the end of the day, you know, you don't, let me just drop this bomb on you guys. You don't need a mediator between you and God. You can tap into God yourself very directly. You don't need permission. You don't need a representative of yourself. You can just do it, all right? You also don't need an AI Jesus, although it sounds like a lot of fun and it's cool, and let's see where we go from here. I'm a big fan of technology and how it can be used. So if it can solve some problems, which this might, you know, I think the jury's still out, then, you know, I'm all for moving forward. Miller High Life, the beer, releases a cologne that smells like a dive bar. Apparently it's selling out. Miller High Life, are you familiar with Miller High Life? It's not a very quality beer. I'm just going to let you know right now. It's pretty cheap U.S. domestic beer. I believe they call it the champagne of beers, which really is an insult to champagne, and I don't even like champagne. Miller High Life has introduced a limited edition fragrance called Dive Bar Fume, designed to embody the aroma of your local dive bar. All right, so fun. So if any of you want to just smell like urine and pay for it, this is for you. The subtle hint of depression and regret all wrapped up in a bottle. Somehow they nailed it. Is it also sticky like the floor of a dive bar? I'm asking for a friend. You know, instead of buying this fragrance, you could just smoke a Marlboro Red 100 and probably just smell like a dive bar. You guys been to dive bars? You know how they smell, right? It's like cheap beer, cigarettes, trucker facial hair, and farts, basically. Let's keep reading, though, and find out if there's bergamot in this bad boy. You ever noticed, like, the past few years, bergamot has, like, surged in popularity when it comes to perfumes, well, colognes, basically, and deodorants and whatnot, and shaving cream. I don't know what this bergamot is, but for some reason, everyone's paying $12 extra for it. This Miller High Life Dive Bar Fume costs $60 per bottle. This unique scent promises to evoke, quote, the bar counter that smells like cedar wood, the musky scent of those worn-in leather bar stools, the sea salt from the basket of fries and popcorn, and the crisp aroma when the bartender cracks open your champagne of beers. It says here the cologne's announcement has sparked a range of reactions online, as you can imagine. One user commented, "Ooh, yay, the scent of my youth." Another person wrote, "Does it smell like shattered dreams?" Yeah. This is a great cologne, in my opinion, if you want to get questioned by the police when you're pulled over. This is a straight shot to a DUI, even if you weren't drinking. Dive Bar Fume. Lose your license for the holiday season. It says, released just in time for the holiday season. Dive Bar Fume has already sold out. So sorry, guys. You can't buy this at all. But, you could just wet your own pants and dunk your face in an ashtray and still smell like it. Just dump an ashtray down your shirt. That'll make you smell like Dive Bar. Okay, well, sadly, you can't get this for the holidays, but you'll be happy to know that the fragrance is part of Miller High Life's broader collection of beer-themed holiday merchandise, which includes items like branded stockings and Christmas tree ornaments. Limited quantities were available online from December 4th to the 6th, with each household restricted to one bottle of the cologne. With the product sold out, prospective buyers are encouraged to check Miller High Life's official channels for updates on restocking of the Miller High Life cologne and future releases. So maybe they'll restock. You guys can get it. I still say save the money and just rub puke all over your shirt, and it'll save you $60 and you'll smell like a dive bar, which is good. The launch of Miller High Life's Dive Bar Fume is part of a growing trend of non-traditional brands, particularly those in the alcohol industry, venturing into the world of fragrance. Oh, is that so? This is the first I've heard of it. It does say here that Killian Paris, founded by Killian Hennessy of the Cognac dynasty, also introduced a fragrance called Old Fashioned, which is inspired by the classic whiskey cocktail, blending cedarwood, Davana, and Immortelle. I don't know what those are. Davana, Immortelle, sounds like strippers. So, I guess, I don't know, you want some booze-scented colognes, dive bar-scented colognes? Maybe you find that useful. Your wife will think that you're out drinking at the bar instead of, being with your mistress that evening. Hey!
The Yeti store has so many great gifts, we had to hire a cat auctioneer to make the most of these next 30 seconds.
All right, folks, let's get started with the Yeti French Press. Enjoy coffee that stays hot for hours in a French press. 34 ounce for you, 6'4" for the cruise. The Yeti French Press. Up next, waterproof bags. Bags are waterproof. Submersible waterproof doubles. Waterproof backpacks. World's mostly water, so get a waterproof Yeti bag. Do I smell something cooking? Oh, new cast iron skillets made to be passed down like Mama's recipes. Take a steak, cornbread, cobbler's pot pie, and potatoes next level with 3 sizes of Yeti cast iron skillets.
Gear, gifts, and product experts. Visit the Yeti store at Tyson's Corner Center today.
A new Illinois law replaces the term offender with justice-impacted individuals. There's a number of new laws being passed in Illinois. They're getting busy over there, but it sounds like they're pretty useless. Possibly a waste of tax dollars. Let's keep reading and find out, though. They've done some helpful things here, such as the elimination of a sub-minimum wage for disabled workers, which I totally support. It says here they will also allow digital driver's licenses on your phone. That's helpful. That way, because it's easy to lose these driver's licenses. They're going to allow employees to skip mandatory work meetings where political or religious matters are shared. We're having a lot of work meetings where political and religious matters are shared. I didn't know about that was going down. I assume if you work at a religious organization, there's going to be some religious matters shared at the meetings. Can you still skip that one? Or if you work at a political organization, there's going to be meetings where political matters are talked about. Can you skip that one as well? Need some more information here. Here's another law. Illinois employers are prohibited from checking to verify if applicants can legally work in the United States or not. That's so that you can employ those undocumented peoples that are here, which a lot of organizations want to employ them because A, they don't cost as much, and B, they do a lot of the work that the legally documented workers in the U.S. don't want to do. They do things I don't want to do. That's for damn sure. I mean, I don't know how much longer they're going to be in our country, though. They might, they're talking about getting rid of these undocumented people. And then, I'd imagine it's going to get a lot more quiet around my apartment complex because without any undocumented workers, there would be no leaf blowers. And I don't like leaf blowers. They're quite loud. But then again, I also like the place to be cleaned up. So I'm very, I'm torn on that. Anyways, I'm going to, in a way, miss the leaf blowers eventually if they send my friends out of here. Okay, now I want to get to the crux of this article, which is this law that replaces the term offender with justice-impacted individuals in the Illinois what's called the Crime Reduction Act. An amendment to the Crime Reduction Act of 2009 will change references to offenders. It will change them to justice-impacted individuals, which I find hilarious. It's just sort of a playing out of what's been going on for the past few years, where a lot of our lawmakers are spending a good deal of time and resources changing language to solve problems instead of really solving the problem. If you don't believe me, ask yourself, how is the word unhoused individual working out? We had his term homeless, and they're like, no, let's go with unhoused individual. That's not really solving our problems now, is it? Okay. And likewise, I would rather not spend time changing the word offender to something not as negative, and actually, getting rid of offenders if you could. That would be helpful. Just because you get rid of the concept of offending in the language, it doesn't mean no one's offending, man. I love how they're like, oh, crime solved. How'd you get rid of the crime? Well, we just changed the name of the crime to a non-crime, and now there's no crime. You're not a victim. You're an assault recipient. Oh, great, thanks. I feel better now. I wasn't robbed. I was withdrawn of funds. That makes it all that much better. That guy's not a pedophile. He's a child-attracted individual, okay? Stop insulting the man. He has rights, too. He's not a registered sex offender, all right? He's a registered sex justice-impacted individual. There's a difference, eh? When is this nonsense going to go away? Can someone tell me, please? When are we going to wake up from this? Because, this isn't helping anybody. It's really not. And it's a waste of community resources and time. I don't want to see my lawmakers spending time on stuff like this. I really don't. We have real problems out there. There's potholes, I got nanoplastics in my balls. I'd love someone to fix that. How about you get on that legalization of mushrooms tip? Mushrooms tip, no pun intended. Yeah, man, let's legalize the mushrooms. Come on now, they're harmless, right? There's just a lot of, better things that they could be doing than this. It's just my opinion. When you redefine everything that might have some sort of little negative connotation in order to spare the feelings of some niche group, fine, but at what cost? All right? You're tying up community resources with that sort of nonsense. That's my point. I'm not completely insensitive to language and people's feelings, but at what cost to the community? My drinking water's pretty tainted, bro. Last I checked. All right? We have big fish that need to be fried, brother.
The Subaru Share the Love event is a fulfilling way to get in a great vehicle and support a great cause. When you buy or lease a new Subaru from now until January 2nd, Subaru and its retailers will donate a minimum of $300 to charity. By the end of this year's event, Subaru will have donated nearly $320 million to charity. Visit Subaru.com/share to support a great cause today.
There you were, sitting over there with my podcast last night. There you were, sitting over there with my podcast last night. Ow! Hi, my friends. How are you? This is your host, Jonesy. A lot of caffeine going on. A lot of opinions coming out. Oh, Jonesy almost got political, a little bit political in that episode. I typically don't, but I don't know. I found that to be a very funny thing going on in Chicago, Illinois specifically. Hey, let's give thanks and praise, all right? Let's get on to this. Lisa from Finland. You guys know about Lisa, all right? She's an OG fan of the show, very supportive, always buying me coffees, making donations, writing me. She bought me some coffees off my website, weirdafnews.com. That's a place you can go to support Jonesy for the holidays. And everybody who buys me coffee, Michael from Iowa City is going to match $1 donation leading up and through the holidays until New Year's. So that's pretty cool. Lisa wrote me a note. Jonesy, I almost had the rubber pants on the monkey, but then your dad walked in and now I'm bored again. But hey, at least the monkey's having fun. Good luck with your life. Good luck with his life, man. Hold on. At least the monkey is having good luck with his life, man. I'm sorry, I butchered that. Also, I don't understand it. So is it sexual connotations involving my dad? I can't figure this out. Anyways, I think Lisa's on the mushrooms. to be honest with you. But we love her nonetheless. So shout out to Lisa from Finland. Never been to Finland, but I should probably go and hang out with Lisa. She's got the good stuff, obviously. All right, if you guys want to email me, let's get this out of the way. It's funnyjones@gmail.com. You know, I get some people who try to send me emails from my website, weirdafnews.com, and sometimes it doesn't go through, and then they reach out to me in other ways. Like everybody, I say my email every day on the show. It's funnyjones@gmail.com. So I don't understand why you're trying to send emails other ways. That's been the email for 8 years on here, or however long I've been doing this. It's funnyjones@gmail.com. It's so easy. I'm also on Instagram @funnyjones if you want to see where I'm performing. And if you want to support the show, go to weirdafnews.com. And if you want to be happy for the rest of your life, good luck with your life, man.